So for today, I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can see a little more of my person from the top half here as I'm seated in my chair. You can also do this standing or seated on the floor, wherever you're most comfortable. So one of my favorite meditation tools is called a mudra, which is basically just a gesture or pose that we can take with our hands to sort of send a message to ourselves, or like to think of it almost like a mental flashcard of just sort of a little concept to sort of anchor myself in space and sort of give a theme to a few moments that I might be taking to sit still. So for this week, I'll offer a mudra it's called Abhaya mudra in its Eastern context, that's in Sanskrit, but it translates to gesture of no fear. And what I like about this gesture, well, I'll invite you to take it with me now. Just bring your right hand up in space, like you're gonna high five somebody, wherever is kind of comfortable. I like my hand at about shoulder height. My elbow just kind of rests along my side. This comes up at like a conference table, or anytime you're on a video call, maybe you want to speak up, if you can put your hand up in space kind of to say, hey, I have something to say. And maybe you know from experience, this can take some courage. So that for me is a very natural association to make. And with your other hand, I'll invite you to let it rest kind of palm up, either sort of hovering in space in your lap, above your lap rather, or you can let it rest on the surface of your lap, whatever is most comfortable. And just let your fingers in that left hand be relaxed. I like to imagine sort of holding a bowl, sort of a spot to, if you're one for mental imagery, a place to let your thoughts kind of gather as they do bubble up, because meditating does not mean we're not thinking. It just means we're knowing that we're thinking. So I like to have kind of a place to imagine putting those thoughts as they come up. And one more thing I'll offer around this gesture is the idea that bravery does not mean to be without fear, that courage takes sort of moving forward with our fear in mind and deciding to show up and speak, or whatever the context may call for. So just a little overview on a mudra, commonly called the gesture of no fear. You may have seen little Buddha statues in a novelty store that might be taking a pose about like that. That's kind of what it's associated with.